place to fill out for, coming with new members, sorry, I'm ahead of myself, or visitors, but just make sure we have your email address if you want to keep up on what's going on. So to help our worship flow smoothly, please email all the requests and announcements to worshipchair@columbia.org. The service leader will gladly share them at the close of Sunday's service. We warmly welcome families with children and offer childcare during our service for children up to 4 years old. We also have a designated seating area for children age 4 to 7 and their parents and caregivers. That's back there in the corner. Today, older children and youth will remain in the sanctuary with their caregivers. Also, please note that hearing devices are located near the children's seating area for individuals requiring hearing assistance. The beautiful flowers today are donated by Linda and Richard McLeod in loving memory of Richard's mother, Janie Lenhart. Is that correct? Janie Lenhart, born on March 31st, 1925. So please silence all your devices as we center ourselves on today's service and listen to the prelude.
I'm pleased this morning to welcome Janice Cars to sing our prelude, Listen.
Listen to the song here in my heart, a melody I start but can't complete. Listen to the sound from deep within. It's only beginning to find release. Time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be pushed aside or turned into your own, all 'cause you won't listen. Listen, I am alone at a crossroads. I'm not at home in my own home, and I've tried and tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. Now I'm done believing you. You don't know what I'm feeling more than what you gave to me. I'll follow that voice you gave to me, or else I'll have to find my own. You should have listened. Someone here inside, someone who almost died not long ago. I'm screaming out, I want to be heard. I will not be pushed aside or turned into your own, all 'cause you won't listen. Listen, I am alone at a crossroads. I'm not at home in my own home, and I've tried and tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. Now I'm done believing but I'll be moving on if you don't, or if you won't listen. But I can't complete. You don't know what I'm feeling, or else I'll have to find my own. Alone.
Thank you, Janice, that was wonderful. And Anna, thank you. So now if you would, please rise in body or spirit and join me in the congregational covenant in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, thus do we covenant with one another. And you can be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. Our community is founded on deeds, not creeds. We're a covenantal religion, meaning that we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. We place love at the center of our values, embracing and welcoming all people. And today we're delighted to welcome any guests or visitors. Because I forgot to ask someone ahead of this service, I'm asking my husband, Bill, to take the microphone. He does such a good job with it. So if you're willing and able, you're a guest or a visitor, could you stand and wait for the microphone to reach you? Share your name and where you're from, and if you've brought guests, we invite you to introduce them as well.
My name's Patrick. I'm from West Columbia. I came for the garage sale yesterday and
Welcome.
hooked up, so I had to come back.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Brandy. I am from Colombia. I spent about 8 years living in South Korea, so this is my second time coming back here. And it's good to try something new. So, hi.
Welcome. Welcome, Brandy. Thank you, Bill. Visitors, if you'd like to learn more about UUCC, visitor cards are in the pocket at the back of each chair. Please fill one out and place it in the collection plate so we can email you about our events. Our board members and committee chairs welcome your questions and comments, and they wear green name tags. So thank you very much, all of you, for being here. Today's challenge slider is Joe Daggett. Come on up, Joe. Joe joined us in around 2015, he reckons. He enjoys being a part of UU because it gives him the freedom to believe what he wants without anyone questioning his beliefs. He also enjoys reading nonfiction watching ball games, and catering to his granddaughter's every whim. And you can believe me that he is a great person to watch USC women with and the Red Sox. He and Bill do their Red Sox. Thank you, Joe. Spirit of light and life coming to us. Now let me turn my page here. Oh. Connie?
This is the last Sunday of the pledge drive. I am not Carolyn Eastman. I am Connie Quirk, so our names start with C. Okay, this I value. Why do I pledge? For me, making a yearly pledge is part of being a member. The UUCC needs committed funds in order to carry out its ministries, and pledges are a big part of that. It enables intentional planning for the UUC ministries. A reliable budget allows for offering pastoral care, community support, and robust programs, ensuring we remain a stable and active presence for all members, both old and new. Knowing that my pledge is a part of our collective pledges helps me feel a part of a shared, impactful vision to actively work towards more justice in our congregation, our community, our nation, and the world. Thank you. Our pledges give the church a realistic view of the support we are blessed with so we can put it to work. I view my pledge as an investment in UUCC's future. Pledging supports my spiritual growth, and in fact, it's an active form of practicing gratitude. Raised as a Catholic, I went unchurched for far too many reasons to talk about here. From the age of 22 until we discovered our first UU community when I was 50. By that time, Kevin and I were raising 2 orphaned nephews, and they really needed friends. Good friends, not just schoolmates to banter with. It was that need that led us to the UU congregation of Gwinnett, which would become our spiritual home for nearly 20 years. And it worked. The boys were immediately welcomed and soon felt cared for and included. We did too. We had found a greater family, and now we recognize ever more strongly the need to connect to the greater community around us. Of course, connection is not a one-way street. Whoops. Go away. Families and communities must be maintained by the efforts and involvement of the members. It may be giving our time, our skills, our talents, and even our money. On one hand, the boys benefit from the programs that are unique to UU communities, programs such as the year-long coming of age, led by 2 adult congregants, but also involving an adult mentor for each youth. Or the year-long OWL program, again, taught by 2 adult volunteers. So our benefit flowed from the generosity of our community, practically, but also financially. Each of us is in a different financial situation, and so our pledge is uniquely personal. For me, it has always been about how I could express my faith in ways which would benefit my congregational family. The reason for my contribution of time and talent is to maintain a vital community. Just as important is the financial commitment, I keep losing my place, I continue to make through my pledge. We must keep the lights on. We must maintain and make needed repairs to our historic church, and we must pay our staff. But put so, it all sounds a little grim. But in the world where shopping is a common, or for some, a favorite activity, maybe there's another way to look at it. Unlike spring sales, we thoroughly understand that our pledge money buys, what our pledge money buys, and we even get to set our own price. So when Kevin and I think of what we might contribute to the UUCC's ongoing ministry and the maintenance and improvement of our facility, it is with a joyful and thankful heart for all we have here and with faith in the future that we make our decision to pledge.
I invite you to join in singing our opening hymn. It's in the teal hymnal, number 1053, How Could Anyone? Please rise and body your spirit to join in singing. We will sing with some repetition. Once more through, and I'll invite you this final time to imagine within yourself that child you carry with you through all the years of your life, and sing to yourself. How could anyone ever tell you anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you?
Apologize that we're having mic issues.
Do you need this one?
Can you hear me now? All right, we're just gonna play Pass the Mic Around, if that's all right with y'all. I look more like an evangelist this morning holding the mic. I'm good, I can hold it.
You can hold it,
Yeah,
sure?
yeah, I can hold it.
I'll leave it here in case you...
All right. I think that one's working too, so. All right. As Bonnie started our service and said, I think there's something wrong with our mic, it reminded me of a joke that I heard a Lutheran minister tell once. If you've ever been a part of a Lutheran church, you know that the minister stands up to start the service and says, "The Lord be with you." And then what does everybody out there say? Oh, wow. All y'all needed was a little bit of nudge and you're all of a sudden Lutherans. Welcome to the fold. But he said one day we were having the same issue or at a congregation that we were having this morning, and he stood up and said, "I think there's something wrong with the mic," to which the congregation responded, "And also with you." So I don't know a better congregation for that to be applicable than if I say that. You don't need me to admit something's wrong with me for you to tell me something's wrong with me. But we will persevere today and be able to continue to focus ourselves on our service. Today we are focusing our emphasis on the International Transgender Day of Visibility, which is on March 31st. So much of our music, if you weren't able to hear Anna, much of our music is from transgender composers today, or focusing on themes around that as well, in that community. And then also many of the words that I will share will be from transgender community and poets and activists as well. This one this morning for our opening words comes from Joshua Jennifer Espinosa, and the title of it is Driving Through Fire. I wonder how many of us must raise ourselves from the dead to tell the story of how we died to the people who killed us. I drive on. I carry Los Angeles back to the desert where I live and I hide halfway up a mountain. Safety comes at a price. But what no one tells you is that the kind of safety that isn't even really safety also comes at a price. Everything comes at a price when you have a body like this. A body that breathes and moves and is everything it claims to be. To know yourself, all your other selves have to fall away, like burning paper that drifts upward for a moment before settling into nighttime dirt. You have to walk over to those parts of yourself and stomp them out before they set anything else ablaze. One day, I will finally be alive. I can feel it. I know I will be alive because life is beautiful and I am beautiful and I belong in it. I belong in life. Maybe not belonging in this life, but I belong in life. I make a life that fits me. I will take my burning body to the bloodstream of this world, and when everything ends, I'll stretch my arms and fly somewhere else. Invite our children to come down for our story for all ages. Good morning. It's good to see all of you this morning. Everybody fits on the carpet today. I don't know if the nursery is coming, but I'm not sure they can hear us as well back there, so we'll go ahead and get started. I don't know if you just heard me, but March 31st. Oh, they are coming. Thank you. I see them. We'll wait on them. They're making their way here. All right. Did anybody hear what we are celebrating today, what our emphasis is? Kind of looks like my tie a little bit, or the flag on the front. The Transgender Day of Visibility, that's right, which is on March 31st. So I thought this would be a great Sunday to share, with my daughter Luna's permission, to share her pronoun book that she likes to read. And I will share it with you. So ask the question, how do you know what someone wants to be called? You got any idea? What do you think the answer is?
Either they tell you or you just don't know, because even though they look like something, or you're basically certain they are something that may, like there's around like the 25 or over chance they don't want to be something.
That is very true. That is very true.
So they either tell you or it's impossible to know.
That's right. All right. Go ahead. All right. Or also you could ask them what they want to be called. What do you think?
He stole my answer.
Well, it's maybe not stole the answer, but maybe have the same answer. Yeah.
Figure it out.
All right. Maybe you could try to figure it out. It's very difficult sometimes. But this book says, how do you know what someone wants to be called? What does it say?
Ask.
You can ask, right? If they're willing to share. And so here are some pronouns. What do you see? She. Yeah, we're going to listen to some options.
He.
Yep, he.
They.
Yeah. Y'all are good at this. Yeah. Yeah. And baguettes. That's right. You got to read what's not written on the words on the page. All right. Very good. Good job. Yeah. What they said. Listen to you all. You were great. And this is what I really love. All together. And here's a very powerful word. You ready? Us. We are all together. Absolutely. So, yep, U.S. That's right, us. Yeah, you have that book as well? All right. You have not the same one, but one similar to that? Well, that is what this celebration is all about. This emphasis is all about. It is about visibility and making sure that everybody is seen and known exactly the way they want to be and how they feel in their own heart. And that is a safe place here for us. It's a safe place for you because we are all here together. So thank you all for coming down this morning.
Are we gonna have inserts today?
George, no CYRE today, right?
Just for the middle and high school. Sorry, Harvey.
The middle and high schoolers, all right? Harvey says boo. Good to see someone else getting booed for a change besides me. At this point in our service, we light candles of community, opportunities for you to share your joys, your concerns in this place, in this community, a way to be heard, a way to be seen and known what is on your heart. So if you have a candle this morning, I invite you, I'm going to bring the mic down, I invite you to come and briefly share your joy or concern and place it here.
I'm Sharon. Wanted to let a big, hang on, let me get my non-curse words out. A big thank you to Jean for this fabulous yard sale. And it's also for my 10-year-old granddaughter whose birthday was Friday. And we took a trip up to Asheville. Cora, many of you know her, been around this congregation for like 16 years. We went up to Asheville to celebrate. And in honor of our visitor who was in Korea, I'm going to take advantage of my of this microphone. I have some extra K-pop tickets for the end of April in Florida. So if you know somebody, I'm desperate. Thank you. That's for K-pop.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and I have a 25-75 split on this candle. First, I want to mention my gratitude briefly for how this congregation showed out at No Kings yesterday. I don't think we ever got a definitive count because people were coming and going and all that, but I would say there were well over 20 people, either members, friends, family, who were associated, and so that's something like 10% of our membership. So that's not bad. It would be great for 30%. But anyway, that's the 25% of the candle. The 75% is a candle of concern. I don't think that John Hartz and Susan Gray are members here. They have attended several times, and I know they would be planning to come back in the future as well. If you haven't met him yet, Susan is our former member Nina Gray's sister, and John is her husband, or Nina's brother-in-law. They're definitely good people, and John's been a friend of mine for a while. And I learned last night that unfortunately John's been having some heart problems, and he's in Prisma Health. He's hoping to be released tomorrow. I don't know if that's optimism or reality speaking, because obviously whenever it's your heart, it's a serious issue. But anyway, Susan definitely, and I think John too, would appreciate your thoughts and good energy going forward. So, candle of concern for John and Susan. Oops, we almost prematurely lighted it.
Yes, I'm short. I'm Christina Steele, and this is a candle of gratitude. And it sounds kind of odd, but Thursday I was on the interstate on the way to work, and I heard a popping noise, and my car started to overheat, and I made it to a gas station in which I waited for a tow truck and picked up my car on Friday, thinking it was fixed. On Saturday, Matt and I were supposed to go to the Ostara Festival, held by the Dragon Brute tribe, and I picked him up, and we were on our way within the city, not on the interstate, and the car started to overheat again. So apparently it wasn't as fixed as we thought it was. I'm very lucky that Matt was with me because he was calm, and because he was calm, I stayed calm. And he kind of sort of knew what to look for, and it was the radiator, but we weren't really sure on how to fix it, and a hose had come loose, so we called a friend of ours, also in the Dragon Brute tribe, who happened to be at work, who left work, drove half an hour out to come fix my car, had it fixed in 10 minutes. So I'm really thankful to have such good friends who are willing to come out and help me. And the car's running beautifully. It's not overheating, and we've got plenty of fluid in it. And I just want to say thank you to GJ for fixing my car and for Matt for keeping me calm, because I would have freaked out if he hadn't been there. So thank you. And I did call Firestone and tell them they didn't fix my car.
Hi, I'm Jean Capalbo, and this was a big weekend, wasn't it? We had a garage sale, and it was huge, and I wanted to thank everybody who helped, but Jenny Verne advised me that it would take too long, but Karen was here every day. She's the curator of the finer things, and Jim Kimbler had coffee every morning for us ready. And Jerry Rega, he picked up people's stuff and stored it and brought it here. And of course, there's Bill, I'm gonna forget somebody, but Bill Dolly I couldn't forget because he was here every day. And he does so much. Everything you see, he had his hand in. And I just turned my head as we were getting everything out yesterday. It was all the way in here when we started, by the way. And so we were pushing it back, and he had this sanctuary all set up in no time. It's just amazing. So thank you to all of you, and thank you to everybody who brought stuff, who helped set everything up, who came and bought stuff, and who helped put it together and sell it. And it was such a wonderful community event all week long. I got to know people much better. I love more people than I loved before. So I think that's it for me. But also, as you will be told later, there's still an opportunity to get wonderful treasures as you saw. Okay, so take advantage of that, and thank you so, so much. Oh, by the way, we made about, I think it's like 4,600 so far. So we're hoping to push it over 5,000 by the end of the day. Okay, and you can help. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joan Watterson, and I hate to repeat, but to use your quote, they stole my answer. Sharon wanted to thank Jean. I'd like to thank the whole fundraising committee, and this is a new committee that just was started this year, and Jim Kimbler has done a wonderful job getting it together, and Jean is our queen of fundraising. So thank you all.
Just an update on John Hartz. I believe he came home from the hospital yesterday. We are thankful for that and recovering well. Susan needs some help, so I know I reached out to the caring committee yesterday about some help for her. Also, if you were here last Sunday, you know that Jim Buggy had a cardiac event in the building here before the service started, and I talked to them and Sally, and they are doing well. He is at home and doing well. And appreciates all the support from this congregation. So I'm lighting a candle for them as well. And then the last candle that we light represents our joys, our concerns that we are holding silent this morning. All right, as we prepare for our offering this morning, a reminder, this is the last Sunday that we are sharing the plate with the Congaree River Keeper, so keep that in mind if you would like to donate. I'm going to turn it over to Anna to introduce our offertory song.
Angela Morley was a British composer, conductor, orchestrator, and musician. She composed and arranged extensively for TV and for film. Angela Morley was the first openly transgender person to be nominated for an Academy Award, and she won 3 Emmy Awards for her work in music arrangement. Karen Peters joins me today on viola to play her beautiful work, Reverie.
Invite our ushers to come and receive our offering. Thank you, Karen and Anna and Janice, for all the wonderful music today. We receive our offering, a symbol of our commitment to our good work. Having watched a few of our YouTube services, I realize that I do a lot of things with my hands, so if this microphone goes flying at some point, I just know doing the hand thing. Or if I resort back to like my evangelical childhood and I say every head bowed and every eye closed, no, that's not something good that's going to happen after that. Like an altar call is coming, right? I do want to start with a story, a Buddhist story of a particular monk by the name of Suripantaka, who was considered probably the dullest and maybe the least bright disciples of the Buddha. Couldn't even remember a single verse of text. And his own brother told him he didn't belong in the monastery. And they all ignored him until he felt invisible. I think we all know that experience of what that feels like. But the Buddha saw him. And the Buddha gave him a simple task, handed him a broom, and said, all you have to remember is sweep and clean. Sweep and clean. And so every day he would sweep and clean, until eventually he attained enlightenment. All the others ask, how in the world could he attain enlightenment by sweep, clean? The Buddha said, well, one thing that he realized is that as he was cleaning the dust and the trash out of the areas he was cleaning, he was also cleaning all of the dust and the trash that had been brought into his life. The messages he had been told, the messages he told himself, sweep, clean. He had to remove the obstacles to be fully seen and known. And the Buddha even said that in a former life, he was an accomplished Dharma master, but held himself back as to not be elevated, so hid himself, so contributed in some ways to feeling invisible by not being fully seen and known. So many stories from different traditions have experiences like this of someone who feels invisible, overlooked or forgotten, and then they are suddenly seen. In the Hebrew scriptures, there's the woman named Hagar, a slave who was raped and abused by Abraham and Sarah and felt invisible and alone, was cast out of the camp with her son, and then God visited her. And she named God one of God's names, El Roi, which means the God who sees me. These stories from different spiritual traditions recognize that in moments like that, something changes. It doesn't solve everything, but it reminds individuals, I exist, I matter, I am visible. Honestly, there's a quiet longing that lives in each of us, this longing not to just be known, but actually to be seen, not just glanced at, not sized up or labeled, but to actually truly be seen in all of our complexities, our contradictions, our beauty, our rawness, our unfinishedness, all of our flaws, all of our glorious strengths, to be seen and known. This vulnerable thing of being seen. It asks us to step out from behind the stories that we tell about ourselves. It asks us to loosen up the grip on our mask that we've learned to wear. Those masks that we wear, the competent one, I'm the strong one, I'm the agreeable one, I'm the one who has it all figured out. Being seen invites us to risk showing all of those parts of ourselves that we're still in process, still growing, still healing, still becoming, and if we're honest, being seen can feel quite dangerous. Because so many of us have learned along the way that being seen doesn't always mean that you are loved. Perhaps we're misunderstood or judged. Perhaps we're told directly or indirectly that we are too much, over the top. Or maybe we're told, you're not enough. How do you find somewhere in the balance of all of that? It's hard. And so we just hide. We hide ourselves in our busy schedules. We hide ourselves in this chase for perfectionism or this chase for never fitting in. We hide behind humor. That one felt a little bit close to home. We hide in silence. Never me. We also keep each other at a distance as a way of hiding so that you just see what you can barely see from a distance. But even when we're doing all of that hiding, that longing in us still remains. We still want to be seen. We often read the poem by Mary Oliver that ends, her poem entitled Summer Day, that ends with the question, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Every time I read that line, I think, well, who are you actually going to allow to see that life once you live it? We affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person, but you know, that affirmation is not just an abstract thing. We do that work of affirming each other, not just with our heads, but we do it in relationship with each other, when we look at each other as whole, as human beings, to practice this art of being seen and to practice the honesty it takes to let someone else see your own life. You know, it might look like telling the truth about how we're doing when someone asks. You should try that sometime. We have this thing that we do, especially here in the South, right? Hi, how are you? What do you say? Fine. The only exception I've heard is I had an older friend that would also say, fine as frog hair. I don't know what that means, but if you need a little extra thing to add to that fake conversation that you have. Now, I just asked, hi, how are you doing? And almost everyone said, fine. How many people by show of hands thinks that's true? Okay, got a couple of thinks that everybody's fine. All right. Hopefully, we'll keep our information that way, like everybody stays fine. If you really want to test this out, when someone asks you, hi, how are you? Start telling them what's going on in your world. You should try it. You're going to go grocery shopping this afternoon, right? The cashier says, hi, how are you? You say, well, you got a minute? Let me tell you what's going on. Now, I've experienced that in this congregation, that people will often follow up if you say, hi, how are you? Fine. They will say, how are you really? And that's a signal that you actually want to be heard. You actually want to be seen and known. That sense of, I matter, and I actually am going to risk this practice of letting people see me, not just listening and not just talking, just to have this dialogue of manners that we do, but actually responding and understanding and noticing things that are obvious, paying attention to what is tender, what is unsaid, what is sacred in another person's experience, doing the practice of listening, doing the practice of allowing ourselves to be seen. When we do this, we create a safe space for ourselves to be seen and known, and create a safe space for others to truly be seen and known for who they are as well. And when we do that work of being seen and known, isolation and doubt begin to melt away. Wounds begin to heal, and the salve of knowing that we're not alone. All of this takes practice. Sitting in the uncomfortable, engaging things that we don't understand. Being seen requires courage, and seeing others requires compassion. And both require this practice and this place that we have here that is a safe place to practice that work of being seen. March 31st is the Transgender Day of Visibility. a day that calls us to witness, to celebrate, to stand in solidarity with transgender, non-binary, and gender expansive people. I love the phrase of visibility because it's a powerful thing. To be visible is to step into the light of recognition and say, this is who I am. An act of honesty and dignity, an act that the world does not always make the space for. We often talk about our congregations out there that are accepting of transgender people. And that is part of the work that we are called to do. Here at the UCC, we are not only called to accept one another, but we are also called to celebrate each other. To say that your identity is not a problem that has to be solved. It is a truth that we are supposed to honor. Not conditionally, not partially, but fully. It requires that we listen, that we learn, and that we're willing to unlearn assumptions that we may not even realize that we carry. That we move beyond tolerance into affirmation. Because visibility without support can feel like exposure. And that's not what we're called to create. We are called to create a community here where visibility is met with care, where truth is met with respect, where difference is met with curiosity and compassion. We are called to be people who say, not just with words, but with action, that you belong here. That this is a safe space to be your whole self, where you don't have to practice the painful art of donning the cloak of invisibility, unless, of course, we're doing the Harry Potter camp. And then the cloak of invisibility is actually encouraged. It does mean we stand up against harmful attitudes as well, and language when we hear it. And we advocate for the transgender community when legislation intends to harm. So we should keep a lookout, just in case any legislation crosses the South Carolina State House that may be harmful to the transgender community. We will keep our eyes and our ears tuned just in case that happens, right? I read a reflection from Jace Woodrum, who is the executive director of the ACLU of South Carolina, and I thought I should share a part of this, and I reached out to Jace to say, I think I should share a part of this. What do you think? And Jace said, share all of it. So here we go. Jace writes, if you're tired of hearing about transgender people in the news, believe me, so am I. It might come as a surprise hearing that from me, considering I'm a transgender man. I was born female, but for more than 12 years, I've lived my life as the man I've always known myself to be. The reason transgender people like me are constantly in the news isn't because we want to be. It's because South Carolina lawmakers won't leave us alone. First, they came for our athletics, for that less than 0.002% that participate in sports. But then, in 2022, South Carolina legislators passed a law banning transgender students from playing sports in public schools. Next, they came for our health care. In 2024, a health care law that impacted transgender adults, transgender children, they said it was to stop gender-affirming surgeries, but minors weren't even given the surgeries in South Carolina anyway. And that law now prohibits hormone therapy and treatment therapy too. Next, they came for access to our restrooms. Using the restroom is something that every person, transgender or not, must do, but now lawmakers are pushing a bill that actually came to the floor on Friday, a couple of days ago, to expand public college rules passed in 2024 for K through 12 schools, which require people to use the bathroom that aligns with the gender on their birth certificate. Jace writes, that means a bald, bearded transgender man like me is supposed to use the women's restroom next time I watch the Lady Gamecocks play basketball at the Coger Center, at the Colonial Life Center. Right now, lawmakers are debating even more bills that harm transgender people. If this bill becomes a law around birth certificates, a police officer making a traffic stop, a restaurant serving, checking ID for an order, an employer completing documents for a new hire, a federal airport security worker trying to keep us all safe when we fly, they'll all have to figure out how to deal with a driver's license that doesn't match what they see. If we can't get health care to transition, if we can't go into community and use the restroom, if we can't update our driver's license, it's as if we're expected to just disappear. But we won't disappear, and we've seen time and time again, history does not look kindly upon the majority that uses its power to harm the minority. So if you're tired of hearing about transgender people in South Carolina, blame South Carolina legislators. I don't want to be the center of their attention anymore. Like most people, I'm shocked at what I'm paying at the grocery store. I'm worried about how South Carolina might change as people continue moving here. I'm concerned about teachers who've left my kids' schools for jobs outside of education, but our lawmakers don't seem to be doing anything about that. They only have 54 days out of the year to get things done in their regular session, and they seem to be spending a lot of time on proposals that harm a small population instead of using that time to help everyday South Carolinians who sent them there. So I'm wondering with you why. That's what it's like to be visible. So we join ourselves here at the UUCC in solidarity, knowing that all of us are longing to be seen and known. And we work toward justice, knowing that visibility is only one step on the path toward true equality and liberation, true hope and healing. So may the UUCC always be a place that everyone calls the ones who see me.
Our closing song is All of Who I Am by Amanda Udis Kessler from queersacredmusic.com. A special video for Trans Pride was created to accompany this song in 2022. And you should have, when you picked up your order of service today, had this sheet inside so that you can sing along with this song. I'll invite you at the conclusion of today's service. If you love this and you want to keep it, you can. But if you put it back on the table where you got your order of service, I'll keep them for when we sing it again in the future. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join in singing.
It's the truth that
be seated. Our closing words come from Taylor Alexander, who is the co-founder and executive director in Atlanta, Georgia of Southern Fried Queer Pride. They write, I feel as if visibility is a double-edged sword. On one side, it's amazing to see yourself reflected in a world that tries to erase you, whether it be in media, entertainment, or just within the community. Visibility definitely helps you feel as if you're not alone and that there are others like you out there. Sometimes being trans can be incredibly isolating, so visibility is so important to combat that. On the other side, visibility can sometimes make us more vulnerable and more visible as targets. Conservative groups, anti-trans organizations, and people will often see the visibility of trans people as a reason to target violence and harm, often affecting Black and brown trans people even more exponentially. I think it's important to remember that visibility does not correlate directly to safety, and we always have to keep that in mind. So safety is the true work before us.
I invite you to rise and body or spirit to join in singing our congregational benediction.
May the blessings of truth be upon us. May the power of love direct us. And may the peace of this community sustain us till we meet again.
If you will be seated, Bonnie's got a couple of announcements.
That's what you were saying. Okay. The Finance Committee wants to thank you for your pledges with a variety of sandwiches for lunch, so you can eat and browse among the remaining yard sale items. Take what you like today. Any donations will be appreciated. And everything remaining after today will be picked up tomorrow by Stepping Stones Ministry, and they focus on addiction and recovery. I guess that's it.
Thank you. And just for the record, the piano is not one of the items, so Anna, you might just need to sit there to guard that. Also want to invite you, next Sunday is our flower communion, which is a beautiful service that we have each year. So I invite you to bring a flower with you to the service next Sunday, and then you'll have an opportunity to go home with a different flower. Or if you like some of our folks, if you really, really like your flower, you can just take that one back home and enjoy it. But the purpose is to come together next week and enjoy our flower communion and go home with something different. Thank you all for being here and being a part of this service, and enjoy the refreshments and the yard sale. If you're visiting with us, feel free to stick around and give us a chance to get to know you as well as you know us. Thank you.